Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next sessions, we're gonna move into the talk show ninth with the topic, the future of wellness real estate, integrating hospitality, healing, and sustainable living. And of course, this session will be moderated by Mrs. Erika Sedana. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome our moderator on the ninth talk show. Time is yours.
Terima kasih sekali lagi. Yang paling keras tepuk tangan Bang Paul ya di sana. Thank you so much. So, boleh ditinggikan sedikit lagi mikrofon saya. Terima kasih. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests again. So, well, thank you so much for being here for the next panel session. So, we will have, again, this morning, the future of wellness real estate, integrating hospitality, healing, and sustainable living. This is will be a very essential discussions we will have because this part of integrations, and we will see whether we will come up with a framework within the integration between hospitality, healing, as well as the sustainable living. So in these sessions, ladies and gentlemen, we will definitely explore together. I will also expect some questions from the audience later. We will see the growing role of wellness real estate in shaping future wellness environment, which is prioritizing well-being, sustainability, hospitality, and healthier lifestyles. And of course, we heard the numbers yesterday about the numbers of people who are actually suffering for mental disorder, like 1 out of 7 globally. So it's part of a big concern for all of us. So there is one of the reasons why we need to take this, to take ownership, to do these kind of discussions and to do, sort of come up with the agreed framework, agreed applicable plans for helping this circumstance. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite our speakers in these panel sessions. First of all, Russell Simon to the stage, please. Tepuk tangan dulu, kita mau mengundang Pak Russell Simon to the stage. Good morning. Russell, how are you? Been long year, last year I met you here on the same stage, back again. Thank you so much for your time. Please have a seat. Feel free. I'll let you to decide the most convenient seat for you. All right, so next, Lucas Sirap Nielsen, the co-founder and CEO of Synergy Bali. Hello, Lucas. Good morning. Thank you. Please. And would like to invite on the stage Hiraka. One round of applause, please, for our speaker. Good morning to you. Nice to meet you. Hiraka, please have a seat. And of course, last but not least, our speaker, Caroline Tyler. One round of applause, please, for our speaker here in the panel session. Hello, good morning, Caroline. Hi. Pleasure meeting you. Please have a seat. Wow, it's amazing. It's always amazing to have great panelists on the stage. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning in the third day of Bali Wellness and Beauty Expo. So, as part of the concern that we will have here, the title of this panel is The Future of the Wellness Real Estate, Integrating Hospitality, Healing, as well as Sustainable Living. So 3 very, I would say, like core pillars in the wellness business. All are very important, will not be able to stand alone, that need to be integrated together. So I would like now to invite, first of all, Lucas, from your perspective, how do you see the first is the need and the most effective ways, I would say, from your views, to integrate healing, hospitality, and sustainable living. Please, Lucas.
Thank you so much. So first of all, I'm very honored to be here. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I believe the world is changing right now, and if we take a look at 10 years ago, there was a lot of things that was super cool in the world. It was very cool to do a lot of party. It was very cool to connect. It was very cool to meet in a different way than how people are meeting now. But the world is changing, and everybody wants to be healthier. everyone wants to be more happy and everyone wants to live longer. So wellness essentially is not just here for right now and not just here for something short. It's changing pharma, it's changing the world, it's changing everything. And when we're talking about real estate and you're taking a look at the numbers, then real estate wellness is actually growing with 30% annually, which is significantly higher than normal real estate. So when wellness is integrated in real estate, then you can just excel the numbers too. From a sustainability perspective, the world is changing too, because the world is starting to set standards. Now, the last 100 years, there has been a lot of buildings around the world, and now the buildings are changing from being buildings to people having a standard of what we should create in the world, how we can create a better tomorrow. And now people want to see expectations. You see that in Bali too. There has to be a certain way of architecture. There has to be improved levels of teams and preparation to be able to get a PPG. And that's coming in sustainability too. So I believe right now, Prem said it very cool also, now is the start of the future and we will only see better days in Bali. And that is not just in wellness, that is in sustainability too. So I definitely believe the world is changing for a way better tomorrow coming.
Well, one round of applause for Lucas for the views. Definitely, really appreciate that. So wellness is changed, definitely, and the world is changed, and everybody wants to live longer. Everybody wants to live healthier. Everybody wants to be better, right? So then, yes, expectation is also changed, and progression is also changed. I mean, the bar is increasing, and the expectations level is not only, you know, like progressing a little bit, but then expectation is higher now. Thank you so much for that, Lucas. So I would like now to move on to Russell's here. Would you mind to share in your views, actually, how the wellness and healing here in Bali? You've been here for a long time, of course, then want to see exactly your perspective.
Well, I've been here 10 years, and it's working? You can hear me, right? Yeah. I've been here 10 years, and I came here because of Bali being this place, and Ubud specifically being this healing space that has such great potential for each person who's on that journey. And the medicine city itself is evolving slowly, even though the people come and they're all aggressive and excited about the various modalities of healing. But the next level of healing is not only the spiritual journey that we are all on, but this physical journey has now become a cultural phenomenon, right? This idea of, and it's evolving so fast, and you know, to keep up with it, it's fun keeping up with it as best as you can, because so many things are being invented. I have many people who have various different kinds of illnesses and issues, and they're inventing new ways to heal and to prevent all of these potentials. The world is shifting, and I believe Bali is, from a spiritual standpoint, and Ubud and all of Bali really, but is already way in the forefront as a place full of people who are healing through all the natural remedies and ideas. And we're now starting to invest, some of us, in the future technology, the modern health technologies. So I just believe that this place is a natural to be a hub for the entire world for this journey, and to connect the physical healing with the spiritual healing. You know, it comes through the yoga, it comes through all of the various physical modalities, and through the natural remedies. But just to tie it together with the advancements that are being made is really an exciting journey. So I think that we're all on it, whether we like it or not. We're surrounded by it. When I go to my sauna, I told a story yesterday because it happened a couple days ago. I was like, I'm in the sauna, and someone asked me what's my favorite verse from the Bhagavad Gita. Like, there's like 10, 15 people in the sauna. And like 7 or 8 people had a verse, right? They're all like-minded, and they're all looking for spiritual growth and evolution. And here we are, those same people were in the sauna, not the club. They're not drinking, obviously. They're not smoking. They've shifted, and this is a cultural shift worldwide, again. And so we're here in the center of it, regarding the potential. And I think it's going to happen very quickly. I just looked at this teaser deck. That's yours? Fuck, that looks cool. That looks cool. I mean, what I built is, I believe, a nucleus for my investment in this new cultural revolution, right? So I have, GDAS and Bali Eden. Yes, we have stem cells, and yes, we have, cryotherapy and, all kinds of toys and tools for personal wellness. But I believe there's so many new innovations that have to be branded and built out because people don't know what's available. And I think that as quickly as they're evolving in terms of the technology and the advances, is how quickly we have to allow people to use these toys and tools. So that's why I've been in my life a branding person. So I want to make it clear to people that you can come here for these various kinds of healings and health techniques.
Right, thank you so much, Russell. So culture is shifting globally, worldwide, as mentioned by Russell. Then you've been in Ubud like for 10 years, and then also it's evolving so fast. And then people who in the past wanted to go for fun, for instance, now has switched more into wellness. And then, yes, definitely, we really want Bali to become the hub for the entire world when they pursue for the spiritual healing and also wellness. So just before I move on to the next panelist, I would like to invite the audience to have the audiovisual we will have here. Can we have that on the prompter, please, so my panelists will not have to watch at the backside? Well, thank you so much. I think just in the half session, we would like to invite the audience for an applause to the panelists, please. Just to give more motivations over here this morning. Well, thank you so much. Can I now move on to the next panelist we have? We will also be discussing about environmental responsibility. So I would like to invite Caroline and also Hiraka to share on your views, please. Caroline first, please.
Hello? Well, it works. Yes. Great. First, I'd like to thank you for inviting me here and also explain a little bit about who I am and why I get to sit on this stage. I've spent almost 35 years here in Indonesia, in Bali, as a jewelry designer, and recently going into wellness property. What I noticed as a jewelry designer, making beautiful things for people, is that when you're perceiving beauty, you regulate your nervous system automatically because you're looking at something beautiful, that image goes into you and it increases your endorphins and reduces cortisol. So I've noticed this over 35 years of making beautiful things that make women and some men happy. And I've translated that over 30 years into buildings as well. So my first endeavor in real estate in Bali was in 1993. And I built a home that ended up becoming quite acclaimed in the media. And I've now translated that into Lumina Sanctuary, which is a new wellness retreat in Ubud. And I've designed the entire thing with beauty in mind, knowing that beauty heals. And this is something that a lot of wellness places, not Russell's for sure, because I was just there the other day and it's absolutely gorgeous, but many wellness clinics don't pay attention to the different senses that can perceive beauty or, let's say, ugliness. And ugliness dysregulates the nervous system. So fluorescent lights and background noise and all of these senses need to be attended to, even if people aren't perceiving them consciously in the subconscious. they're taking it in. So I've really paid attention to Balinese feng shui and using materials, nature materials, wood, stone, and also the elements, fire, water. All these things need to be paid attention to when building wellness facilities, because you can't just go into a room with fluorescent lights and get some treatment that's supposed to be healing you, and meanwhile you're being dysregulated by the systems that are around that people don't think about. So this is called biophilic design, when you incorporate things in nature that are healing as well. Biophilic design. Also, I just want to add one thing, that if anybody's out there building a wellness property, that to remember that human beings are a microcosm of the macrocosm of nature. And we need to take care of nature and pay attention to its systems when we're building our project. One of the most important things that is being forgotten these days is putting the runoff water back into the water table to replenish the groundwater. And it's right now what people have been doing. I've noticed, I've been here a long time, more than half my life. The water is going into the street, into the ghat, and then into the streams and into the rivers, and we're getting erosion and degradation of the marine biosystem, and also drought. So if any of you have been here, lived here a long time, and there's a lot of native Balinese in the room, you've been having to drill your bore water deeper and deeper because people are not putting the water back into the water table. This is one of my pet things that I like to talk about with builders. So it's incorporating care for the environment beyond the trash recycling and beyond the biosystem for your septic. It's really thinking, how does nature operate, and then incorporating that into your project, because that's holistic wellness. It's creating wellness of the environment. We have to take care of nature if nature's going to take care of us.
Well, thank you so much, Caroline. First of all, thank you for taking the ownership to take care also of the environment, and especially you have the concern about the water here in Bali. Then being 35 years here in Indonesia and also contributing a lot for the beauty of men and women so far, which is, that's really amazing. And I just want to also capture important points from Caroline's. She mentioned about the attentions to the Balinese philosophy, also natural elements in the wellness treatment that actually contribute to the environmental responsible as well as human-centered approach, as you mentioned there. So I would like now to move on to Hiraka. So can we also hear your views, please?
Thank you, Erika, for your inviting me to this panel. My background, I'm into the wood industry, past 18 years. We work into mass timber industry. We develop a lot of innovation, transferring technologies from Europe to Southeast Asia. Yeah, as I said, there's a huge gap, like in Bali, not in Bali, in Southeast Asia, where, a lot of sustainable material which Europe are aware of, it's hard to implement into the Southeast Asian market because of the availability. Because Indonesia have a lot of huge availability of sustainable materials, but the regulatory is very hard. So the client is not get any benefit for the structural. So we are trying the best, because in the past 5 years when we innovated something, but the market was not ready to accept it. So we need to move on, like the neighboring countries like Malaysia, which the country have a regulatory much giving the benefits to the people. Like example, whenever you're doing a structure in sustainable material, they'll give you a better, faster process on the licensing or a lot of regulation. So I think it's a key big gap problems. And the other side is about architects, like should be the responsibility on each material should be, because they follow what clients want, but they don't give any advice to the clients. Because this we face. Okay, the client said, okay, I need this wood, but this wood is literally coming from a rainforest, and we are talking about sustainability over there. Sustainable, it's just not a thing which you need to create. Wellness also, because wellness, people do, it's not a thing which you can attach or bolt to the existing building. Before you start something, you need to think about how it can be well-being, correct? But now what's happening is that after the architectural designing and everything done, they forcefully make them to a wellness, well-being atmosphere, which can't make it happen like that. So I mean, there's a key role. There are a lot of beautiful architects like worldwide are participating in I met few of them like in Bali, but still they have lack of availability support and support from Indonesian government. If the local availability is not there, foreign products cannot come in. A lot of situations are there. I mean, like less carbon footprint on the structure. I mean, people are aware of it, but they couldn't do it. Like, I mean, if I pitch to 10, 15 projects, yeah, we were to success only 2 of them. Because at the end of the day, they say sustainability is not cheap if you want to do it in Indonesia. There's a price for that. So, I mean, we are trying to fill the gap, how we can collaborate, transferring the technology, especially in bamboo and timber. We're working very hard to implement to the, I mean, especially working with the architects, the way how they can be more educated on the material, not exactly what they're doing. Okay, they draw something for them, but not for the client what they require. So I mean, most of the architects that they have that ego. But hopefully, I mean, we'll come up with that. I see a lot of nice, interesting projects also in Bali doing very well, but should be careful about the proper secured material which properly procured from the forestry, fast-growing species. We need to consider a lot of things are there, but there's a huge gap. People are forcefully still using the rainforest wood for no reason. So which I don't understand. I think this kind of education should be done. A lot of seminars should be go on. So bamboo also now doing good, very good, but high maintenance, still need to use a lot of toxic materials to maintain the bamboo. So it's a key part. So I think we coming up in a solution on the prefab technology. We do have one of the best in Southeast Asia right now. We are trying to enter the Bali market very soon. Yeah, hopefully we'll have a good luck. Thank you.
That's amazing, Hiraka. Thank you for sharing that. So also thank you for sharing the concern that you were stating that doing a sustainability here in Bali would be expensive. So that kind of a wake-up call for all of us here, seeing that situations, of course. So you're bringing also like Malaysians into comparison. So if you see from your own views, for instance, what exactly the massive gap here in Bali for doing sustainability, especially if we want to integrate hospitality, sustainable living, as well as environmental sustainability. So beside the licensing that you just mentioned, what kind of a massive movement, progress, or development that you wish we would have?
I think the key role should be taken by architects, consultants, designers. They're the key part because the clients are moving towards to them before the contractors. But some clients are focusing directly to the contractors and they have a nightmare, of course. I mean, you know a lot of stories in Bali. So architects should play a key role based on, because Indonesia have a lot of resources are huge. We are a blessed country. We have all those resources is there, but not coming to the front line. I don't know why this keep on. I mean, this because of the lack of knowledge what architects and designers have in the market. I'm not blaming them, but I think they are focused on the design, but they need to be concerned about the material should be in the market. There are some architects, they are doing very good, but still I said, I mean, we need more on that side, having a regular seminar, especially the Green Building Council, these kind of things, keep on should have. I mean, like new products coming up, you need to give the chance the entrepreneurs to come up to the market, introduce to the market. These things should be keep on ongoing. So I think that's how you can fill the gap. I mean, as a vendor, we can't reach to clients directly. Of course, the people who propose solution is that the architects or the consultants who coming to the board. So I think from my side, as a client, of course, I mean, Raymond also, he had been experienced a lot also. I mean, whoever doing the construction for their project, they've been go through this. Thank you.
Right, so thank you. So architect or designer could be the first filter in this specific circumstance in terms of development of sustainability. So I would like to, before I just invite the audience to address questions, I would like to move on to Lucas over here. So Lucas, on your own perspective, how exactly we can embed here to do like the best framework in integrating the hospitality industry and the government, as well as the, I would say, education sector into the same directions, going into sustainable living?
Yeah, you mentioned something very interesting about education. and that is something I'm very passionate about. I believe essentially everything starts with education. And here in Bali, for example, we are having a fundamental issue that the local kids has an average of learning English 45 minutes a week, which is, in my opinion, not enough to learn to speak English on a level where you are capable of communicating enough to make deals and actually be involved. And if we're thinking a little bit ahead in life, then reality is just we're looking into a K-economy. We're removing middle class right now, and there will be rich people who are becoming very wealthy, and there will become poverty. We're living in a very beautiful place, very spiritual place, as some people are saying also, where we are having the opportunity, especially as foreigners coming here, to come with a background of education, to help, to give back. And Indonesians' middle class right now is growing, which is a good thing in my opinion, but everything starts with education. So what we're doing in Bounty Properties and the projects I'm involved in is we've been creating a Yayasan NGO where we are helping the local kids, increasing the amount of English from 45 minutes a week up to 2 hours per week. We believe that's the sweet spot for being good enough to secure having a future opportunity of getting a job where you can create real positive impact and still be involved in the tourism, which is the largest part of the economy in Bali. That's tourism. So from my perspective, everything starts with education. That's on Bali level. Now you're mentioning the government, and obviously if we want to make this into a big thing, we cannot just think about Bali. We need to think on an Indonesian plan or a global plan. And if we can collaborate with the government and we can collaborate with the universities, then my personal long-term goal is taking kids, seeing if we can help them create brighter futures and learning English to a level where we can collaborate with the universities, making sure that the talents and the good people, the good kids who actually has dream and wants to get the help, you need to be willing to get the help too. Then we can create an ecosystem and take them back again, and I will happily be part of employing them in Sanur too, my future project I will speak a little bit about. But we need 400 employees, and we are building in East Bali. How are we gonna get 400 local employers speaking English on a high level where now you're speaking about service and tourism? The most important thing is to be on a high service level, so we need to be able to communicate. I have only one reason, or one opportunity, and that is take action myself. Otherwise, we will not be able to have 400 employees on site if we have not been part of educating these people from being young. So we are investing long-term, like decades, in education, and we believe it all starts from when they're young, and then, yeah, essentially we're gonna employ those people in the future. So as long as they want, right, it has to be good for them, good for us, but I just want genuinely to come to Bali, create opportunity, and have a feeling that I'm providing the impact I can to give back to this incredible place that I'm very grateful to be part of.
Well, thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that.
I want to commend
yes,
him
please,
on
Russell.
his efforts, and I'm going to just echo it. I mean, almost everyone from our resort was trained in my yoga shala by the hospitality school, which came, and most of the people come from Kumbu, the local village. And there's only one Westerner involved in the operations from the general manager through. Everyone is Indonesian, and most are Balinese, and most of them are local Balinese. I mean, in other words, Ubudian who live in their family temple. So that's the reason we won the award for best service. People that we educate, that we work with, that we see every day, really, I mean, there's a magic here, the magic in the spirit of the people. So the winning thing for any entrepreneur, no matter how selfish or greedy or unfocused he is on helping the community, is to work with the community. There's nothing better, there are no better employees. So when we reach into the well and service them properly, we become much more successful. For at least a couple of hundred people were educated and trained and worked with us over these, and some have gone off to work on cruise ships or whatever, but they all learned not only the level of education from language, but just how to work in an environment that we were lucky enough to create. So I just wanted to point out that what he's saying is anyone, no matter how much they come into the country with some aspirations, that to be successful, you must employ, work with, and engage yourself in the local communities. So there is no tourism without the people who we choose to run it, and we have to run it with the people from here. And we're blessed to be in Bali. We have to acknowledge it over and over and keep reinvest in it.
Well, thank you, Lucas. So I see education, everything starts from education, as Lucas mentioned. Also, Simon, you also emphasizing that. Well, I see also the value of giving back is not only like having the opportunity here, but also giving back to the community, to education, how exactly you optimize your team to also teach English to in Eastern Bali, for instance. But also, Russell, I just want to go back to you with the questions that you have seen the Ubud in the past, like 10 years ago, for instance, and you see also the evolutions nowadays. So how do you see, how do you forecast the development of wellness in the next 5 or 10 years, Simon?
Well, with the new hospital here and with the investments, I mean, we are moving in, BSI Clinic is moving into our hotel right now, and Dr. Joe has been a great contributor to wellness here in all of Bali. He has maybe 5 clinics already. So there's a lot of modern technology that's coming, and there's a lot of ancient wisdom that's being shared. So Bali and Ubud, and I keep saying Ubud, but all of Bali, but mostly Ubud. Mostly my community, right? Nobody else really. But so we really believe in, educating them to take them to the next level as well, while still implementing the most important thing, which is the spirit. Because most of the people who come here with incurable diseases, who get cured by whether it's the alternative methods of what they call alternative, but it's vitamin C therapies for cancer or various different things. Most of those people survive because of their spiritual strength, right? It's their spiritual fortitude that gets them through it, along with creating an environment, natural environment in their body so they can heal. It's really magical. So I see the future, this connectivity between this spiritual growth that has to happen when someone is healing, that goes along with the new technology, that goes along with the ancient remedies. It's just, they go together, these 3 things. And this could be the capital for the whole world of that process. So I see it coming, and I believe in it. And like I said, again, we really want to invest in the people here. We have one white person. Am I going to get canceled for saying this shit? We have one white person of all the hundreds of employees, and we don't really like him very much, Sam, right? We don't care. So my point is that we really believe that all of this comes from this natural, this lucky, well, we've been cast here to support the communities. And the future is bright because what's ancient and special is here. And that's the nucleus of all the healing that everyone can do.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Russell, thank you for sharing that. So also emphasizing the spiritual connectivity is also vital in this development. Will you see like the industry will be bright in the future, but then still we need to also embed the spirituality here as we are here in Bali. So I would like, I'd just like to move on now to Caroline. So how exactly you see that the most effective ways to really ensure the community here in Bali totally engage with environmental responsibility in their day-to-day life?
I think, if you don't mind, I'd like to continue with the theme that we were talking about
yes,
before.
Yes, definitely, we could connect with that.
Because I have something to say about that.
Yes, definitely, Caroline,
Thank you for your question. You asked a question, how do you see the Balinese with all the modernity that's been happening? And what I've noticed over 35 years is that, well, what I think we as Westerners living here have a responsibility to do is to mitigate the effect of us being here, which has been drifting away from their tradition, because a lot of people are now living in a cause. They're living away from their family, they're living away from their own banjar, and they're living in a cause so that they can work in hospitality, and they're losing the thread. So what I feel a responsibility to do is to have my place embody the wisdom and the tradition that is 1,000 years old, and bring the Kajawan back into my place and into the village. So one thing that we can do as wellness operators is to partner with our Banjars and make friends with the Klian Adat, who is responsible for carrying forward Balinese tradition in their village, and also get the employees, get the staff to remember their heritage and respect their deep, beautiful heritage. It's like, you know, the roots of Balinese culture are very beautiful. And this is something that I think the world at large doesn't really realize. What is the hidden gem in the wellness industry in Bali is this very thing that you were talking about, Russell, and everybody with traditional healing. They see Bali as the, you know, paradise island, the posters starting in the 1920s and 30s, and then it has just sort of progressed from there and become more superficial, but the depth is still there. And I think we have a responsibility to infuse our places with that depth, the depth of the Kajawan and the Hindu view, the Tantra view, and make sure that, I mean, beauty is not only what we can perceive with our senses, but beauty is a story too, a beautiful story, so the imagination has to be hooked in. And I think people really, you know, people want experiences and they want a beautiful story. And that Bali has that, but it's been lost in the commercialism a little bit, so, yeah.
Well, thank you, Caroline, for addressing that. I believe that also connect to, hit to my questions, how exactly we ensure that our community also take ownership in the environmental, in the cultural or tradition. You said that we need to do the mitigation a little bit and also to ensure reconnect with the traditions of Balinese people, and you bring up about Kajawan thing, and also making connections with the Banjar, which is one of the most essential part in the community, which is doing like integrations. So just before I move on to the conclusion, I would like to also invite all the audience to address some questions. Do I have questions from the audience? Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you have questions, please raise your hands. Yes, please. Would you mind to share your name and just go direct to the questions? Boleh dibantu microphone, ada pertanyaan di sini. I give you this is microphone, so easier. You can. All right, thank you, please.
Hello. Hi, good morning, panelists. Thank you for what you've shared so far. And so my question is, bring you back to, can you hear me? Hello?
Would you mind to speak louder, please? Thank you.
How's this? Okay.
Much better.
So many wellness developments focus on what happens inside the buildings, but as Caroline touched on, the importance of responsible land stewardship, water retention and such, many developments market themselves as wellness projects while bringing in huge amounts of resources and putting pressure on local ecosystems. So my question is, how do you see the future of wellness real estate evolving from creating healthy spaces for people to actively healing the landscapes that they occupy?
So that you're saying like a lot of wellness facility is actually inside the building, and how you see the future of wellness integrating with the environmental, is it? The natural environmental. All right, so I think the question will be, okay, can I address to, please, the questions. Was that clear for you, the questions?
First of all, the question, I couldn't clearly hear about it, but if you could speak a bit louder would be
okay,
great.
I just capture my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, so many wellness facility actually inside the building. So how can we say like the future of wellness industry connected to environment or natural beauty that we have here? Do I take your question right?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
It's to do with the concept of regenerative wellness. So not just for the people, but
Right.
how is that going to also regenerate the environment that it sits within?
Thank you. So it's not only sustainability, but regenerative. So just giving back to the nature, to the environment. So please, yes, after this one, you get the...
Again, I mean, I think it's the job of the artist, which is then regenerative designers, architects. There are a lot. I mean, they need to do a key role how to make it, because Bali have one of the best like natural landscapes. Like, I mean, compared to in Indonesia, anywhere, I mean, if you talk about the budget also much, the way they do, they could do a lot of magic on that side. I mean, it's a blessing in Bali. So I think the key role, yeah, of course, designers. I mean, and also the community, because sustainability, it's not something a company or individuals could do. It should be a community. It's a responsibility for everyone who are into the hospitality industry. So it's not like, okay, each company come up with a new policies, but I think everyone should be stand alone, I mean, together to execute this one. So, and the regenerative designs, again, of course, it should be following a lot of protocols on the, I mean, we need to follow the regulatory also. Some regulatory regenerative designs, whether it's acceptable or not. In the Bali regulation, building regulation also there, because rainwater treatment, so many things are there. I mean, we need to concern about all this. Again, the job is for the designers. And of course, because of course the property owners, they have a lot of ideas they want to do, but how to implement that, are the designers, architects, and the contractors. Architects, sometimes they draw very fantasy designs and everything, but at the end, no way. It's not even working on the 80% of what they drawn. So again, we need to come up with a strong position that it should, I mean, spread the wings, collab or collapse. I mean, people need to collaborate the maximum, yeah, in a way that, otherwise, I mean, you can't stand alone anymore. Even the architects itself, they have less skills, they need to collaborate with the third party to add on it. So at least one project can come up with 3-4 skilled people to execute that, to make that happen, because that's
Right. So thank
The
you. So we
government,
have more
the
feedback.
government, I just want to say this, that the government has now recognizes and is enforcing certain laws that may have been here or were not observed in the past. And now that we have this, maybe it spurs people to pay attention in advance, and then the norm may be, like they say, you build a house and you have, or a hotel and you have this much land around it. The norm will expand, where the land will be protected, because that's the beauty of Bali. There's really no wellness resort that doesn't have nature. And then not only the nature on the property, but the nature around the property. As much as you can have a vast, I live in the forest, right? And the forest has been really attacked by humans over the last 10 years, but it's being attacked a lot less now because of the government regulations and this new government. So I applaud them for that. I hope that it's enough to really save the beauty that we all invested in.
Right, so thank you. So I just invite Caroline to give a feedback. Well, thank you for the questions, actually. So let's hear from Caroline also.
Yeah, I love this question. Thank you, Amber. And she well knows what I've personally done for this because she works with me. I agree with you, Russell, that we need, for every ara that we build out, we must have an equal amount of land that we are regenerating. And one of the things that I did recently was when I got the land where Lumina sits about 20 years ago, the view was iconic Bali. There was Agung across the river with rice terraces right down to the river wall. And the family that was farming that, the farmers grew old and passed away, and then the children were all working in hospitality, so they weren't farming the rice fields. And the jungle encroached, and I didn't rent that land across the river, so I had no say over what happened. Eventually, the view of Agung was obscured, and it became solid jungle, which was fine with me because trees are good. However, I have now rented that land from my employee, and I'm returning it to the rice fields that it once was, and I'm growing red rice, heritage rice, non-GMO from Bali, and I'll be serving that in my cafe. and I've returned the view. So this is, you know, something traditional that my guests can look at and be surrounded by this beauty every day. And then the story, there's a story about it. And I'm carving the riverside wall with the story of the Ramayana so that, you know, they can ask about the culture. What is this carving? And then we can go into the story of Balinese Hinduism and how the Balinese got to Bali from Central Java. So this is one way. Another way is by not engaging in programs, even if the government promotes and supports them. For example, mosquito fogging with pyrethrin, which is a chemical that destroys wildlife habitats. It kills all the mosquito eaters like dragonflies and the other natural predators of mosquitoes. And it only kills the mosquitoes for 3 days. It does not kill the mosquitoes in the water. So engaging in, for example, there's a company called the Mosquito Lady, and they use natural methods to do mosquito abatement. So humans aren't dying from malaria and dengue, and the environment can still thrive. When I got to Bali, there were fireflies everywhere. Kunang kunang. All of Ubud was full of fireflies. And now they're a very rare sight, except on my property, because we don't do mosquito fogging. And then, of course, the other thing which I mentioned is returning the water to the water table so that there's no drought and erosion and all the rest. And there's so many more, but I won't take up any more time with if anybody wants to talk to me about it later, please come and find me.
I will definitely continue with you, Caroline, after this session's close, actually. Well, due to time constraints, ladies and gentlemen, so one question we have, yes. So if the co-founder asking a question, so I cannot really stop and close this one first. Yes, please, Ibu.
Hello, good morning. Thank you very much, Caroline, Lucas, Russell, and how do we call you? Hiraki or Hiraj? Hijaz, yeah. Thank you so much for, taking your time and come and speak here. And I think for Russell and Caroline, this is your second time speaking on this stage, right? Is that true, Caroline? Yeah, second time? Can you hear me? Yeah.
It was here.
Was it at the Trans Hotel last year? Oh, I missed 1 year then.
Oh, okay. Because this BWB Expo is the second time, so we initiate to create this event. Actually, we have a vision that to make Bali as a wellness destination of the world. And I really, would like to hear from you, all of you, because you are investing in Bali, you are doing great things in Bali, for Bali. And do you think that this event supposed to be, done every year as a yearly event? And will you support us also to make this event even greater so that you can invite your friends, your network from around the world to join also this event? Would it be possible for you to do that? And at least maybe your companies joining us and opening booths here. So this is actually our, our hope. And first we would like to hear from you. What do you think about this event? Thank you. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you, Ibu Dia. So feedback towards the events. I think they could also later on conclude on this session as well. So yes, would you mind to start? How do you see this event? How do you see the benefits? How you see that?
Yeah, I think, of course, the event is very good. But when you talk about wellness, sustainability, if that scheme, we still need to have to segregate like a few communities to be also part of the solution. Like let's say wellness starts from where? It doesn't start only from the beauty side. Of course, it starts for a hospitality. It starts from the structure itself. So the design aspect itself. So the regenerative designers on the regulator. So there should be communities who should be involved, and these events. Then also we should have a kind of like a talk show related to the architectural also, because it's more connected. Because these are the key points, like for the hospitality groups. I mean, they are starting from there. Then only the added facilities, because the amenities are coming later on. This basic structure is about when you talk about regenerative sustainability. As I said, it's a responsibility. So in Bali, there are a lot of communities are active. I think we need to bring them a lot together, then to be active in the event. Then will be more things will be there, not only the beauty products. So like what Lucas have right now, I think behind the scene, yeah, of course there is a creator also on the architectural side. That's the same. So they also could share a lot of stories. So the future, I mean our future generation also, they will pick up from there. That's my point of view on the, because I'm on to the timber industry side, more into prefab. I mean how can be a solution. We trying to be a sustainable hospitality development, a solution for that. So me myself, I tried, I failed, because in a way I can't do it alone, because we need to have a huge community. That's where it stands, I think.
Well, thank you. So thank you so much. I like the points of bringing more community here and also listening the story behind every company. Yes, please,
say
Russell.
To the extent that this event is a centerpiece for the growth of our investment as Indonesia, I mean, I'm retired here, so I live here. This is my home. So my belief and love for Bali is very clear, you know, and so I believe that we have all these industries that are investing, and people, foreigners, everyone should be made to feel responsible, right? And so this event, and like the hospital in Sanur is such a big deal. We want to compete, I think, favorably with Thailand, right? And we want to compete with Germany and some of the places, the wellness destinations that are, this place should be known as a place to heal people, since it naturally has these elements. And since we have people who have faith and believe in these elements, and now have some of the technology and the hospitalization and the natural people who've been avoided, overlooked, we have all the elements. This event has to be a meeting point. And you know, yes, all the people he's referring to will fall in line when all the big money spends their money here and helps you with your process. They should all know that this is a centerpiece of their future. So that's what I think about this event. It really has the potential to be a meeting place for all over the world to come here to have this discussion. And we should be a model when finished, or as we evolve, we should be evolving into the perfect model of what a wellness destination is.
Right, thank you, so Russell. So this event could be a meeting point for wellness industry worldwide to also shaping the future of wellness industry. Thank you for that. So can I go now move on to Lucas, please?
Yeah, I mean, this event is incredible. I believe the last days has been very game-changing for our business in terms of opportunity and from connection and meeting people here. I believe for sure it is a centerpiece and should be a centerpiece for the future. I believe we're just starting, and wellness is something that everybody and all industries and all businesses in Bali will start incorporate and create as a centerpiece, as a core part of their business too. So I believe there's an opportunity that this event can centralize what is going to be the haiku of the world's wellness. So I would definitely love to come again, and I believe what is the most important thing for that is the opportunity created. The people coming, the businesses coming. You mentioned the hospital, the involvement with the hospital and the deal structures that it's possible to create from coming here, being here physical. That is what is important, because just to come here, that is fine, but you want to come back home with something good, and as long as you can come back with new connections, new deals, new opportunity, then it's worth to come here and learn something. So yeah, I believe this is a very good beginning. I believe next year will be way better, and I believe in 2 years it will be incredible, and we just started. So yeah, thank you for being here, and super excited for the future. Would love to join, yes.
Thank you for positive feedback and affirmation also in terms of connections. Thank you, Lucas. So move on to Caroline, please.
Yes, I agree with everybody so far. And I just would like to add also that for those of you in the hospitality business that are in villages with banjars, which every village has, encourage the Klian Adat, the head of tradition, to attend this next year, to get them on board with what we're doing here in Bali as a traditional wellness destination. I think they'd be really proud and pleased to join.
Yeah, such a good point to address. Thank you, Caroline. So involving Kali and Ada to attend to this event also to gain better understanding on where exactly sustainability is, wellness, and also where we want to go to. Anything to add on that, please?
One more thing. I mean, I think the previous topic what Prem was had, like for the prevention side. So I don't think you should wait for an year to conduct an event again, because now the longevity. I mean, it's been happening very much in Southeast Asia, especially Singapore is very much leading on that, and of course Prem also active in that. I think small scale events, if possible, yeah, yearly twice or thrice also very much possible, because longevity, AI integrated apps are very much familiar now. So by that understanding, of course, the body medical system also will get improved in a way that will give more access on the people to have because people have the less access because people want to live, okay, before live long, we talk about it should be the lifespan. We're talking about lifespan now, or longevity, but you need to fix your health span. For that, we have a basic parameters here need to solve. So the government need to understand what the situation here facing, especially the laboratorium, lack of situations like in Bali right now. This can be fixed if you do it regularly. So that's what I said. If you're small scale events, I think should need go on again and again. And Prem can do a lot of magic on that side. Sure, thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's really great feedback. I really think that we need to really capture a lot in this discussion, but thank you. I take that also as a closing statement from all the panelists, because I had added more time here, like 15 minutes for us actually. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, to all the audience, thank you so much for attending this discussion, and to all the panelists, I would say thank you so much to Hiraka, Caroline, also Russell, and Lucas. Thank you so much for sharing this morning. And definitely, we do hope to see you again in the next Bali Wellness and Beauty Expo, definitely, with different contributions, with different talks and different engagement, definitely. So with this, I would like to also give the time back and the floor to our MC. Please, thank you so much.
Interject one thing.
Yes?
All of us, any one of us, could contact you and promote many events on a regular basis, and so we can be consistent, because the evolution of this space is much faster than once a year to see each other. And when he just made that point, very clear. We offer, I mean, my GM is here. I'm sure he would love to have an event for you, with you, and to include all of the people who have great ideas for this space, the involvement of this space. So we don't think it's today I have to get back, not because I work there, but because I want to be at our festival of wellness that we have every Saturday. So in any one of those Saturdays or social Sundays, you're welcome to create a whole mini festival. And we can do it regularly, because the people who come there are the centerpiece. They are they live for this. Like I said, the culture has shifted, where young people, instead of being in the club, they're in the sauna, right? And they're the future. Like, even the difference between the old people who are trying to live longer, that live in Ubud, and the young people who just live in the sauna and party in the sauna in Canggu, that's their future. They have changed dramatically. They're not drinking, they're not smoking, they're not taking drugs. They're getting high off sound healing, and they're getting high off, so this is a shift in consciousness that's happening, and it's happening so fast that we hope we can be an accelerator for you. And I know that everyone who's in business in this space would love to have more of your involvement and our collaboration.
Well, thank you so much, Russell. So I think it's a good feedback also to have like a contact center for Bali Wellness and Beauty Expo. So every time we have a questions, discussions, or just before we proceed to the next Beauty Expo, then we do have contact centers to communicate, like centralizing the communications for the next preparation. So I think it's a good feedback also. I think we could extend to another panel, but then I need to really expect the time here. So let's return the floor to the MC, please. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, all the panelists.
All right, thank you to our moderators and all speakers for this wonderful discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, give an applause for them. And of course, for our amazing talk show today. Sebuah sesi yang memberikan gambaran bagaimana masa depan wellness yang akan semakin terhubung dengan hospitality, sustainable living, and also environment that support the quality of human's life. Dan berikutnya, we would like to invite all distinguished speakers for certificate and token appreciation that will be given by Mrs. Diah Permana. Time is yours. And ladies and gentlemen, right after this, we're gonna directly move into our next session, which is a talk show time. So for every single one of you, please stay in your own seat. Thank you very much. Berikutnya kami pandu untuk melakukan sesi foto bersama, so please make squeeze, because we're gonna capture our moments on this talk show 9. All right, be ready in 3, 2, 1. And also with the signature poses Bali Wellness and Beauty Expo, Salam Wellness. All right, once again, thank you very much for such an amazing talk show. And to all the distinguished speakers, with full respect, you may return to your seat. Thank you very much.